And now, Nippon style. Designer Naoto Sato's interest in pleats has taken his handbag designs to a whole new level, both playful and elegant.
This pleated piece resembles a skirt. The bag, which was recognized for its avant-garde elegance, won the Grand Prix at the Japan Leather Award 2010. Naoto Sato once designed clothing. He has applied techniques used in apparel making to concoct singular bags.
In terms of bag design, there are very few creators on the scene that incorporate clothes designing techniques. So I'd say that's my strong point.
Sato is as fond of pleating techniques. He creates beautiful bag forms with creasing. In spare moments, he makes pleat samples using paper. It's a way to unwind.
It's not just because I like pleats. There's something about their continuous nature. Buildings and stairs share that kind of continuity. I think people are instinctively drawn to continuous systems. And naturally, I was drawn to them.
He applies pattern-making techniques for his bags, and he even does the pattern-making himself.
Usually, bag designers depend on craftsmen a lot. I don't want to compromise there. I have a policy of drawing up the patterns myself.
He discovered the beauty of pleats as a boy from his mother, who taught dressmaking. Sato decided to become a fashion designer.
I loved pleats and just kept on designing clothes that incorporated them.
After graduating from fashion school, he worked for top designer Junko Koshino. Sato, who was a pattern maker for Koshino, was also in charge of bag design. He most enjoyed designing three-dimensional forms with pleats.
My designs, in general, tend to ignore gravity. With bags, you can ignore gravity, right? I also like formal designs. So bags really suited my sensibilities.
Wanting to pursue bag making, he struck out on his own years later in 1995. He started out with pleats right away. His first bag was in accordion style.
I thought of my bags as moving objects. That was when I wasn't concerned with function.
It took 10 years to complete this bag, which actually doubles as a skirt.
This is called a side pleat. I thought it would be really interesting to turn a skirt into a bag. First, it can be a shoulder bag. Then, you can wear it as a regular skirt. You can take out the inner bag and attach it to the existing strap for another style. I entered this piece in the Japan Leather Award 2009 competition. It was well received for its creativity, but it totally lacked marketability. It was too avant-garde to be appreciated.
That was when Sato began combining his aesthetics with functionality. After much effort, he created this bag. Using a technique used for skirts that leaves hems unpleated, he combined pleats and function in this bag. It expands as things are put into it. And in 2010, he finally claimed his long-awaited Grand Prix in the Japan lever.
I really wanted to win the grand prize. So, when I finally did win it, I was so happy that I cried.
He always looks for innovations in pleating.
I am visiting a pleats factory.
He often visits factories for research. The factory makes pleated fabrics mostly for skirts. Pleats for his bags were made with this garment machine. This time he tries making pleats on durable cowhide, which is resin-treated for luster. The machine is not designed to treat leather. The thickness of leather and temperatures need to be carefully controlled. They tried many times, but the pleats did not come out even. They tried once more after altering the temperature and inserting linen paper.
I take my chances, even if I'm told something won't work. You learn from your mistakes.
Sato continually pursues new pleats fabrics and designs.
So here are some of Sato's handbags with pleats, pleats, and pleats. This one won an award. And now Sato is working with something totally new.
For marine sports enthusiasts, wetsuits are de rigueur. Sato's recently taken on the synthetic rubber material.
Originally, it was Junko Koshino who was quite interested in clothing made of wetsuit material. Since I didn't notice many bags made of the material on the market either, I thought it might be fun to make some.
Using a special sewing technique, he achieved beautiful three-dimensional forms in the soft, light material.
The sewing technique involves taking the reverse side of the cutout parts and gluing the edges together without seams. Then you press them together with the machine and blind stitch with a sewing machine. Since there is no seam interference, you can create a clear three-dimensional effect.
Sato is currently working on a project to make bags for a department store's private label. He's meeting with the head of the label.
ナチュラル感とか、それからクリエイターが作ったバッグというものの良さは生かしていかなくちゃいけないですよね。かといって多くの人にも持っていただきたい。
I'm making bags for a department store. Until now, my concept has been for creating unique designs and avant-garde designs. But this time I will create merchandise for a wider audience.
For this project, he was developing a new material by bonding pieces of wetsuit with leather. At a leather processing in Tokyo's Sumida Ward, they experiment with fusing the two materials. He brought in bright blue and orange leather pieces. According to the material type and its thickness, they try to pinpoint the right temperature and pressure. Sato checks the finish right away. The colored leather pieces turned out well. At the wetsuit factory, located near a beach, the newly developed material gets sewn together. Teruaki Kanai, who has been making wetsuits for 30 years, first met Sato 3 years ago.
There was no factory that would make bags in wetsuit material. I kept searching on the net, and eventually I found this factory.
最初来た時はそうですね、やはり業界がこうまるっきり違うじゃないですか。やはりちょっと驚いたんですけど、でもやっぱりいろんな話をしているうちに共通点が結局クオリティでいいものを作ろうっていうことなんで。
Kanai applies glue to the cut edges of the material and connects the pieces by hand. He then cross-stitches the pieces together. It took about 30 minutes to achieve the shape. After sewing the handles, it's complete.
No problem whatsoever. By asking them to learn a sewing process that is rare in wetsuit factories, we are aiming to produce bags that are of superior quality.
The evolved wetsuit material has black and orange leather finish for a high-end feel. Round-shaped bags have tucks and gathers. Sato is visiting his mentor, fashion designer Junko Koshino. Since going solo, he makes a point to see his former boss regularly. He wants to show her his latest bag.
これだって軽くていい。はい。うん。デザインが、はい、表は革です。革にボンディングしてるね。ネオプレーンです。はい。うん。だからこれがすごくいいよね。はい。なかなか幅は。
He finally got Koshino's approval.
20センチですね。20センチの時間費やしました。やっとなんか成功しそう。本当もう大丈夫かなとずっと長いこと。ありがとうございます。今までねやっぱりねこう人が持つというより。自己満足みたいなのがすごくあってなんか移動するオブジェというか結局紙で絵を描いてって使うというよりも自分がこれを作りたいっていうのが先で一つ取れ二つ取れいっぱい削いでって引き算やっとできてきた、はい、やっぱり続けることがやっぱり実力になっていくんでそういう意味でも佐藤君ずっとこう細々とやりながら続いたってことが偉いなと思って、うん、だから続けることは必ず前行くから。
Sato's bag making, with its origins in clothing design, is taking off.
I know I gave it to you months ago.
He has been receiving many offers from fashion designers and apparel companies now that his work marries the decorative and the functional. Recent design ideas include women's bags rich in decorative stitching and others of military tent fabric. These bags are made entirely of strap fabric. Naoto Sato is broadening his possibilities as a designer with his singular originality.
Eventually, I hope to hold a fashion show with bags as the centerpiece. I would like to become a designer who can create a show with total coordination every season.
Sato's ideas and creative context are utterly fascinating. I mean, I really love his work. And it seems that his future creations promise total coordination. And up next, Tokyo Buzz. This time we're doing something a little new and different, and our Tokyo Buzz reporter will get very hands-on with a new trend.